Good afternoon. Today we're going to be talking about a different kind of project. So in the previous video I showed you how to set up a Bible translation project from scratch. Okay, that's done in the previous video, but today we're going to do another type of project, and that is how to copy Strong's codes and or Greek parsing morphology from one translation to another. Okay, let's start. So the first thing we're gonna do is to have in mind the modules that we need during this project. There's gonna be three important Bible modules that we need. Number one, your source text, the module where the Strong's and morphology codes will be coming from. Okay, so if you are going to do a New Testament module, I would advise you to use the interlinear Greek for the Textus Receptus. Okay, and of course the second module will be your destination text, or the module you want to put all those Strong's and morphology codes. Okay, just for this demo, what I'm gonna use is the King James Version 2016 of the New Testament. Alright, and then for our dictionary modules, we're gonna need Strong's or Thayer's lexicon with Strong's numbers for the Strong's code, and another one which is the Robinson's morphological and analysis codes, or in short RMAC. Okay, so all these modules are unlocked. They are in the public domain, or we are permitted, the public is permitted to use them as they are. Okay, so let's go ahead and open or run our iBiblia program. Okay, let's just wait for a few seconds for it to load. Okay, so we're gonna do a new project. I'm gonna name this as KJV. KJV New Testament 2016. That's the version of the module when it's updated. So we're gonna select New Testament, and for our source text we're gonna use the interlinear for Stephanus. Thanks for all of our module creators in the Word community. Because of them we have this free module for the Word. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and go to Bible folder. There you go, and select our interlinear module. There we go. Double click that, and we're gonna use the King James Version. By the way, Happy New Year. Alright, let's go ahead and select KJV 2016, double click, And for our reference Bible is gonna be the old, or the old King James version, authorized King James version, okay, of 1700s. All right, just here we go. So this reference that we have already has the Strong's codes on it. Okay, so what we're gonna do is to just somehow use it as a proof text. Okay, so we have a little guide if there is some questions and you're not sure if the Strong's code is appropriate with the word, the King James word, we're gonna put it to. Okay, so I'm gonna hit OK, and let's save the project. Okay, just gonna overwrite this one which I previously made. Okay, okay. Still loading. Okay, it's asking us to abort, and we're gonna open up again. There we go. So here's our project file. Okay, so you can see the file name is shown at the very top, and here's our source module on the very top window, and next to that is the King James 2016 New Testament, and next to that is our reference module, the Old King James. Okay, let's start. So first thing I'm gonna do is to select the first word from my source text. In this case, it's the word biblos. Okay, if I hover my mouse over it, it's gonna show me the lexical information I have for that word. Okay, so the very top is the Greek Strong's code for that word, and you're gonna see the English definition, and the module that we use provides the instances where it was used throughout the New Testament. Okay, and the second section below is what we call the morphology codes, or the Greek parsing. Here you can see where biblos was used in the part of speech. So it was used as a noun, and the case is nominative, number is singular, gender is feminine. Okay, so you need a little bit of a basic understanding of the Greek grammar in order for us to better understand all these terms. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and go to project and select settings so I can explain uh, why we have that pop-up screen. Okay, so the pop-up screen is created using this Strong's Dictionary section over here. This is where my Strong's Dictionary is located. Okay, so we need that in order for us to have that kind of pop-up screen that we saw a while ago. So aside from the Strong's Dictionary, if you're gonna have, or you're gonna copy the Morphology dictionary from one module to another, you're also gonna be using another file that shows you the morphology codes. In this case, I'm using Robinson's morphological analysis codes. That's the whole path for the file name. You can change these files anytime just by clicking the choose button right here. Okay, so for the font, if you want to change the font size or the font you want to use, you just click the choose button. Okay, also true with the destination text. Okay, we have the title. I'm using the same Strong's Dictionary and Morphology dictionary here and throughout the project. Okay, so you can see there. So just a quick preview on how to make changes. I just need to copy this file path to a reference dictionary, copy paste, then click set. That's how it is done. Okay, and same with the Morphology dictionary. So if I want to change font, I'm just gonna click choose font. Let's say I want to enlarge it and use another font. Okay, unfortunately we cannot change the color for this font all throughout the project, so that's one of the limitation of iBiblia as of this time. So it shows blue, but if I click OK, this one's gonna remain black. Okay, that's how it is right now. Okay, so that's how this project is set up. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is to next provide you some understanding on how to associate the Greek words to our English translation right here, which is the King James 2016 New Testament. So here's how it's done. So once I click the Greek word, it will be highlighted in yellow, and then for me to associate the words in English, what I need to do is to look at my English translation below. If the associated or the Greek word corresponds to just one word in English, for example book here, what I'm gonna do is to right click the book word like that. Okay, and what's gonna happen is iBiblia will associate that word. As you can see, when I highlight the first word, the word that's associated on our King James translation is also showing up as blue. Okay, and then what happens also is that iBiblia selected the next Greek word automatically. So you can see the next word, which is Genesis or Genesis, was highlighted automatically. Okay, so the question is, what if there are two words that correspond to one Greek word? What should we do? So let's say So I'm gonna deassociate this pair here by clicking the right mouse button once or twice, okay, and it's gonna become a pale gray, meaning it was dissociated and it's no longer connected to this word. So what I'm gonna do, if I want two words in the King James translation to be associated with a word from my source text, what I'm going to do is to press the control key and the shift key at the same time and select the words in English I want to associate. So I'm going to hit the, that's my first word, and my second one is book. So I'm doing that while I'm holding down the shift and the control key on my keyboard. Okay, as you can see, the Greek word biblos was associated with two English words, the book. Okay, so I'm gonna release keyboard, and that's what happened. So two English words associated with one English or one Greek word. And so what happens is that you have to manually select the next word instead of iBiblia doing it for you. So what I'm gonna do is to left click the next Greek word, okay, so we can proceed with the other words. So the word Genesis, we're gonna associate this one word with, let's say, 3 words in the English. Okay, so I'm gonna hold down the shift and the control key again and left click off the and generation words, so it can be associated with that one Greek word, okay, and so on. Okay, Jesus, the word for Jesus, I'm gonna select off Jesus, okay, since it is in a genitive case. Okay, so I need to select 2. Next one is I'm gonna select Christos in Greek, and since it only represents one word in English, I'm gonna right click this without holding down the shift and the control key on my keyboard. So you see what happened. iBiblia again selected the next Greek word automatically for me, which is huios, and I'm gonna associate that with, I think, 2 words, or I can do only one. Okay, right click this one and David, since it is okay. The good thing about selecting or choosing the interlinear module is that it already suggests which English translation we need to associate with the Greek word. Okay, so in this case, the Greek word David was associated with of David, and as we can see, we have that English word on our English translation. So what I'm gonna do is to hold down the shift control and select of David to associate with that one Greek word. And the next would be another son, okay, son of Abraham. Okay, of Abraham, shift control, then select Abraham. Okay, so I think we're done for this verse. So as you can see here on the left, you're gonna see a color yellow on, or filling up that round dot. Okay, so this is our verse, and it tells us something else. So that yellow one corresponds to the status we have right here. Okay, if I change the status to the first one, which is not associated, that color on the verse changes to gray. Okay, and if I choose the third one, it goes to red. And what I'm gonna do right now is to leave it at the fourth one, or the last one, which is associated, since we're done with this verse, and the verse will turn into green. Okay, so this is very helpful if you are trying to double check, triple check your work without going through each of the verses one by one. Okay, so I'm gonna give you an example of a project that I'm currently doing. Okay, so I'm gonna run another instance of iBiblia to show you the importance of that status or color status. So here is a translation project. So you can see on the left side all of the verses are in green, meaning to say they're all associated with my source module. Okay, and if I want to go back to another, or to my previous work, I'm gonna select those that are not in green. Okay, meaning I need to revisit those after some time to double check my work. Okay, so that's how it is. Let's go back to our project right here, so you get the point. Okay, all right, so one last thing, so you can check if your work here was done properly, or how it will look like when it's exported, by going to this section right here. This is called the context menu, or context section. I'm gonna go ahead and select interlinear, which shows us instantly our current association. Okay, so see here, biblos, there's already the book. The red the red words here correspond to our English module from the second window or section on the left. Okay, the second Greek word of the generation. Okay, here it is, this one, so on and so forth. The blue one came from our source module. Okay, since it already has that interlinear, it's just gonna show up on this section right here. Okay, so what happens when we export this file? Okay, so what's gonna happen is that once you export this file, when you're done, okay, it's gonna show up as a tag translation or module using the Word application, which is I'm opening right now. So the process of exporting this project will be, just select project and then click export project, and it's going to show you a bunch of information. So we have like 5 tick boxes here. So the first one is export and associated words as added words in italics, so we're gonna do that. Second one is export morphology tags, okay, which is what we want. The third one is export comments as translator notes. Okay, comments are located right here. Okay, this is your comment section. So if you want your comment to be included in the export or the final module, you have to select that. Okay, and you also have the option to mark if you have reused strong number and unused strong numbers. Okay, so this is the information for your desk. This also will be copied from, I think, from your old no, this is actually the information that is from my destination text. Okay, the King James New Testament 2016. Okay, so this second tab, which is interlinear source text, okay, so you can see that's the information, all the information that we have for our source text and Strong's Concordance. I'm going to discuss this later on in our next video. Okay, so I think we're done here. So once, all we need to do is to click export and save this final file whenever it's done inside or under the Word software dictionary. Oh, sorry, not dictionary, Bible modules. Okay, for us to see what it's gonna look like. So let's just give it an example here. So what I'm gonna do is to go to the Word and Bibles. So I'm gonna select something here, or make a name, King James Version 2016, let's say plus Strong's and Morphology. Okay, and we'll hit save. So once it shows up, what's gonna happen is that translation will have both the Strong's and the Morphology codes, something like this. This one of my project here. Okay, there you go. Make sure the Morphology codes are on in our program. Let's see if everything's okay. Hit apply. There you go. So it should show like this. Okay, there's the Greek code from Strong's and our Morphology. So what happened to our sample project? So I'm gonna open it on a new instance of the Word. Okay, so I'm gonna go here, the Word, and run. So I'm just gonna close this out. So the reason I'm using two instances of the Word is because I'm running iBiblia and I don't want to use the modules that I'm currently using on the Word to iBiblia, so it will not conflict. Okay, alright, so let's see what happened to our first verse. So let's look for the name. It's King James 2016 edition. Could be this one. We were in Matthew. other one. Yeah, so you can see first verse is already tagged, and let's just set up the morphology. I'm gonna hit OK, and you're gonna see the morphology copied to this new translation. Okay, which is cool because King James, the current King James right now, only uses Strong's Greek. One sec. Not that one, but this one. Okay. So it has no morphology. See that? There's no morphology. Everything's just Greek words. Okay. I hope you learned something. If you have a question or reaction, just comment on the link below, and I'm gonna give you some if you haven't had the module that we are using here, I can give you a link on the comment section so you can download them. Okay, thank you so much, and I hope you learned something. See you again in our next video, and Happy New Year. Bye bye.